G'day mate, today I'll be doing a breakdown of Frequency Shift, the level in FBC Firebreak. This is one of my favourite levels actually, surprisingly, and this one is fantastic for the fix kit. So much of what you need to do throughout this level involves the fix kit. It's smashing stuff with a wrench is awesome. You just got to repair the pipes, and then the screen's kind of in the middle, and then later on in the third room there's something slightly different. Listed throughout the whole level are these pink globs of mould that are radiating around the level. The ones that have the glowing pink pustules, those will actually explode when shot. And if you have a debuff and then you take any form of damage while you have that debuff active, you will explode. That also works for enemies. Walking near them also causes them to explode. So it is it is prudent to be aware of kind of where these things are and make sure you're not using any form of explosives too close to them. Very often you'll hear the noise of it before it blows up, unless of course you shoot it and it takes some damage. So you should kind of always be careful of where these things are. Now once we've repaired everything in the first room, we move on to the second room. Each of these rooms get progressively more difficult, with the third one being notably difficult, in my opinion at the very least. The machine gun is fantastic for this level. I absolutely love it. It's a great way of just clearing a whole bunch of them, particularly in this tunnel right here. And it also helps cleaning the turbines, which can be cleaned very, very quickly just by using semi-automatic weapons. The shotguns still do a good job, but I do find that the machine gun, particularly with the Jade round skill, excels quite well on this level. Of course, being anywhere near the pink mold will cause it to build up on your person, so it can be eliminated by water. So any sprinklers or just the shower or the splash kit will be able to eliminate it for you. Here's a great example of accidentally shooting one of the explosive things, and then it causes a chain reaction of explosions and also destroys the speaker that plays Johann You're right next to me, absolutely obliterating my health. It took all of the shield, and it took about 95% of my maximum health away just because I fired one bullet in a poor place. Great example of kind of how careful you need to be around this level, because it is incredibly dangerous. Here's another showcasing where I ran out of sprint just as I jumped down next to some of the pink pustules, and they did explode, all three of them, just obliterated my health. This last room is the most dangerous. I would actually say it's one of the most dangerous places in the game at this stage, purely because if you split up from your group members and you're far away from each other and you're getting distracted with enemies and stuff like that, the pink mold will actually regrow and cause you to be kind of stranded off from each other. So moving as a unit throughout this is a fantastic strategy, just to make sure that you're all keeping up with one another and none of you's going to fall behind and get stuck. Other than just repairing the pipelines, and we also need to attach the screens onto the emitters, and once we have attached all the screens, we've repaired everything. We then have the difficult job of manually calibrating the emitter. This is a lengthy manual repair situation that can't be sped up by any of the classes, and any mistakes that are done during this process will move the progress dial backwards rather than moving it forwards. There is a spot for 3 people to do it at the same time. However, due to how complicated combat tends to get on the higher levels and how many enemies there are, you've got a few things happening where the pink mold is growing back, and then the enemies are attacking you, and then any sort of mistakes during that stressful situation will actually be counterproductive to you manually calibrating it. And so through all of that, there does tend to be a bit of time spent on this last pit while manually calibrating it. Other than that, the level is actually quite quick, but it is that last section that tends to make or break a lot of parties from what I've seen. Once we're done with all that, the emitter is online and it'll start on its own removing a lot of the pink mold throughout the level. Anyway, that's it done. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a like or upvote or whatever you would prefer. And cheers, mate. Have a good one. Thanks.